It dives like a living arrow, turning altitude into an absolute advantage. Each precise approach leaves the target with almost no time to react. Without unnecessary display, this sky warrior overcomes its challenges through speed and skill. What makes the eagle the most powerful winged king in the sky? On rugged mountain peaks, mountain goats are masters of balance. Their sturdy bodies often weigh over 60 pounds, and their split hooves grip ledges only a few inches wide as they search for mineral salts. With their solid size and precise movement across steep cliffs, they remain a serious challenge for any predator. However, golden eagles in this region have developed a rare hunting strategy. From heights exceeding 1,000 feet, they circle above, quietly applying pressure from the sky and prompting mountain goats to move away from the safety of rocky ledges. A single moment of lost focus can shift the balance. The eagle suddenly closes in from a blind spot, using powerful talons to disrupt the goat's footing on the slick surface. As the mountain goat slips from its familiar stance, the steep terrain and gravity quickly turn the cliff into an irreversible challenge. Each successful hunt reflects the remarkable adaptability of wildlife. Life along the cliffs does not favor the hesitant or the weak. There, nature continues to operate through demanding yet balanced cycles of survival. Within the dense canopy of the Amazon, monkeys move like true athletes. With leaps exceeding 30 feet, some species link branches into a continuous network of movement. This three-dimensional space gives them an advantage, where speed and agility help them avoid many dangers from the ground. But above, the harpy eagle is perfectly adapted to the tangled world of the rainforest. It glides through layers of foliage, shifts direction through narrow gaps, and maintains a steady path with almost no sign of its presence. A powerful body, broad, short wings, and a long tail acting like a rudder allow precise maneuvering among the trees. When an individual separates from the group to forage, a sudden approach immediately disrupts its movement. The pursuit concludes quickly within the dense branches. Where layers of leaves intersect like a maze, survival belongs to the one that understands every unseen opening. With canopy hunting skills and remarkable agility, the harpy eagle stands as a top predator of the rainforest. Each hunt not only sustains the eagle's family, but also shapes the instincts of the next generation. Along coastal winds, bald eagles command the space through energy-efficient strategy. In many river systems, fish can make up nearly 90% of their diet, providing essential protein and fat for daily survival. From a high perch, they patiently scan just above the water's surface. They do not rely on movement alone, but also detect flashes of light reflecting off silver scales. When a large fish rises near the surface, the eagle lowers its wings and descends along a steep path. The stillness breaks in an instant, then settles again with a precise contact. Within a few wing beats, the catch is carried back to the nest under sunlight. Yet in the world of sea eagles, hunting is not the only path to survival. When an osprey lifts off with a fish, the eagle quickly recognizes the opportunity and approaches from above. It avoids direct confrontation, using the pressure of its wide wingspan to force the rival to release its catch. With a sharp turn, it secures the fish before it reaches the water. Each successful feeding is not only a reward for patience, but also a lesson in survival. From there, mastery over rivers and coastlines continues to pass through generations. Across the African savanna, life moves like a game of probability, where every motion carries risk. Weighing in around 14 pounds, the martial eagle must choose its moment with precision when approaching much larger targets. Below, antelopes can reach speeds near 50 miles per hour and leap about 10 feet high, giving them a strong advantage in open terrain. When the herd begins to lose rhythm, a single moment of separation creates an opening. From above, the eagle narrows its wingspan and selects a blind spot behind the herd's direction of movement. It does not strike the center, but focuses on an individual exposed on open ground, where turning ability is limited. The approach is swift and decisive. Gravity, speed, and angle combine into a tactical advantage, disrupting the target's stride at the moment of contact. If an adult attempts to shield, the eagle maintains its edge through precision and timing, keeping the encounter brief. The open grasslands are where hares refine their instincts through seasons of sun and wind. At the first sign of danger, they accelerate to around 45 miles per hour, combining bursts with leaps of nearly 10 feet. A rapid series of direction changes creates an unpredictable path, forcing any predator to calculate each approach. Yet no matter how agile they are, they remain within the sight of the ruler of the skies. High above, the eagle circles patiently, waiting for the moment when the distance closes. Then its broad wings draw in. It descends like a living arrow, cutting through the air in an instant. Its shadow sweeps across the grass, pushing the hare into constant turns in search of a final escape. Still, ground speed cannot match the advantage of the open sky. With powerful talons capable of exerting up to about 400 pounds of force in larger eagles, it quickly secures its target. The outcome is not shaped by chance, but by patience, calculation, and instincts refined through repeated attempts. Across rocky deserts, desert lizards bask on sun-heated stones, reaching over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a critical moment to absorb heat and maintain energy during the dry day. Their scales blend into the gray stone, allowing them to nearly disappear within the barren landscape. In this environment, remaining still can become an effective shield for survival. Yet for eagles, that stillness cannot remain hidden for long under eyes that rule the sky. When a lizard leaves its cover, even the smallest movement breaks its perfect camouflage. From above, the eagle folds its wings and descends along a precise angle of approach. Its legs extend forward, forming a firm grasp that limits the prey's chance to react. Even under pressure, the lizard lashes its tail and twists its body in an effort to escape. But the eagle maintains its advantage with precision, using its sharp beak to control the target without wasting energy. As resistance begins to fade, the pursuit concludes through a hunting technique refined over time. It carries the catch, spreads its wings, and quietly rises to a high perch, bringing with it the energy needed for the journey ahead. In the wild, eagles represent the peak of aerial hunting. They do not limit themselves to small creatures, as these birds of prey are also capable of challenging alert and capable land predators. When an eagle detects a fox moving beneath a thin layer of snow, it folds its wings and descends along a steep trajectory, reaching speeds close to 150 miles per hour. The shadow appears only at the last moment, leaving just a brief window to respond before the approach brings the situation under control. In that instant, speed and angle of approach matter more than brute strength. Against a gray wolf weighing around 80 pounds, or a watchful coyote, the eagle rarely engages directly. It relies on altitude, blind spots, and timing, especially when the target lacks experience or becomes separated from the group. Pressure from above forces constant adjustment, revealing openings that can be exploited. In the avian world, snake hunting eagles, especially the snake eagle, are regarded as specialists in dealing with reptiles. Their diet is closely tied to snakes, making them formidable opponents for many venomous species, including the black mamba, reaching nearly 9 feet in length. The secret lies at their legs, covered with naturally thick scales that act like a shield, reducing risk from sudden counteractions. Yet the true advantage is not only physical, but also rooted in patience as they read every movement on the ground. For sea eagles, they often circle above rocky coastal areas, searching for snakes basking to absorb heat. When the target reveals itself, the eagle suddenly folds in and dives from above with remarkable speed. With legs protected by dense scales, it secures the target before a response can form. The encounter concludes quickly, reflecting the precision and composure of a highly skilled predator. The savanna trembles as the lion bursts from the grass, launching the chase. It accelerates, closes in on its target, and forces the panicked herd to change direction. Refusing to back down, the lion maintains relentless pressure, overcoming every attempt to resist. What gives the lion the strength to overcome the most formidable rivals on the grasslands? Dawn breaks across the savanna, beginning a new day in the lion's highly structured world. Within the pride, the females are the primary hunters and work together to care for the cubs. They coordinate through eye contact, positioning, and synchronized movement as they scan the grasslands. The males defend territorial boundaries, warn of danger, and help maintain order within the pride. Through strong social organization, lions transform individual strength into the power of the group. In the world of those at the top, the life of a male lion is never peaceful. At territorial boundaries, when two male coalitions face each other, the future of the pride hangs in the balance. With more than 400 pounds of muscle, every forward charge is not only a display of strength, but also a declaration of control. The weaker side is forced to leave the land it once ruled, giving up access to females, food resources, and opportunities to pass on its genes. A male lion's reign often lasts only about 3 years, a brief period filled with constant pressure. That is why every confrontation becomes a test of survival, challenging age, endurance, and resilience. But power is not limited to territorial boundaries. It also reaches deep into the pride's social order. When the hierarchy is challenged, a male lion may use a close approach, a roar, or warning displays to restore discipline. This is not meaningless chaos, but a way of keeping the pride stable amid competition, food shortages, and unexpected encounters. When a new leader takes control, the instinct to continue his bloodline brings the pride into a sensitive period. Cubs that are not related to the new male may lose his protection, leading the females to enter a new reproductive cycle sooner, In the end, victory belongs not only to the stronger lion, but also to the one persistent enough to make its rival back down. Hidden on a low branch, the leopard emerges as a master of stealth and patience. Weighing about 150 pounds, this solitary big cat moves silently, climbs with exceptional skill, and quickly reads its surroundings. That adaptability often helps it avoid confrontations with larger predators, especially lions. But the safe distance suddenly disappears when a pride of 12 lions quietly closes in around it. The space around the tree gradually narrows, turning a secure refuge into an invisible cage filled with mounting tension. Forced to leave the higher branches, the leopard darts through a narrow opening, skillfully changing direction again and again in search of an escape route. When its path is blocked, it turns to defend itself, relying on speed and quick reflexes to keep its rivals from closing in. The standoff lasts nearly 30 minutes, draining its energy while steadily increasing the psychological pressure. The lions are not simply seeking food, they are also attempting to drive a competing predator out of the area. In the end, the leopard's solitary strategy gives way under the pressure of the group. It is a powerful reminder that a solitary strategy works best only when there is enough room to escape. Lions and African buffalo are formidable rivals on the African savanna. One relies on coordinated group tactics, while the other stands out for its defensive endurance. The buffalo stands like a living fortress, carrying nearly 1,500 pounds of muscle and a powerful pair of curved horns. Despite the risks involved, lions still consider buffalo a valuable target because, in some habitats, they make up more than 30% of their diet. At the edge of a watering hole, the encounter begins as the hunting pride establishes a surrounding formation. They focus on an isolated individual, while the buffalo deliberately retreats into the water to buy more time. Keeping its body low in the water helps it maintain its footing, lower its center of gravity, and use its horns to control the distance. When the buffalo leaves the water, the circle begins to tighten. Some lions block its escape routes, while others close in from both sides, using their weight to slow its movement. Alarm calls bring the buffalo herd rushing back like a defensive wall. The pressure forces the hunters to retreat, with some even seeking higher ground to avoid the herd's countercharge. But the struggle is not over. After several minutes of isolation and mounting exhaustion, the older buffalo can no longer maintain its original defensive rhythm. The advantage ultimately shifts toward the lion pride, leaving a sobering lesson about discipline, persistence, and the limits of survival. The cheetah, the lightning bolt of the savanna, has a slender build and can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. But that speed comes at the cost of limited muscular strength, making it vulnerable to losing its meal to stronger rivals. Weighing about 120 pounds, the cheetah has little advantage when facing a lion. During the midday heat, as the cheetah rests beside its recent catch, a lioness quietly approaches through the grass. The distance closes too quickly, forcing the cheetah to spring away and abandon the valuable energy gained after hours of pursuit. Losing the meal is more than an immediate setback, as it can weaken the cheetah and reduce its stamina and hunting ability in the days ahead. From the edge of the grasslands, the pride watches the moment as a reminder of the laws of survival. In a later encounter, the cheetah is placed at a disadvantage again when a male lion appears and defends his territory through overwhelming pressure. The other cheetahs are forced to scatter and keep their distance from the greater threat. In the end, speed cannot always protect the more vulnerable animal. Survival also depends on awareness, timing, and the ability to recognize the boundaries of power. In the rivers and wetlands of Africa, the hippopotamus stands like a breathing block of steel. Weighing about 4,000 pounds, with thick skin and a mouth that opens like a massive gate, it nearly dominates the shallow waters. Canine teeth extending more than 1 foot serve as a clear warning to any unfamiliar animal that comes too close. As the dry season lowers the water level, the hippo is forced to leave its familiar fortress and travel across land. Despite its formidable strength and a bite force of up to 1,800 pounds per square inch, an older individual falling behind becomes a rare target. Rather than confronting it directly, the lions patiently surround the hippo and block its path back to the water, gradually reducing its survival advantage. The encounter continues beneath the scorching sun, making every movement increasingly difficult for the hippo. When the decisive moment arrives, an adult male lion suddenly closes in, applying enough pressure to disrupt the hippo's defensive rhythm. The rest of the pride then quickly coordinates to take control of the situation. In the end, persistence and discipline allow the lion pride to gain the upper hand against its enormous rival. This rare success provides enough food to sustain the entire pride through several challenging days. In the natural world, even the limits of the powerful can be tested by persistence and courage. The East African savanna rarely favors individuals that stray from the protection of the herd. Against predators hidden from view, wildebeest gather into a massive, moving fortress. Thousands of watchful eyes continuously scan the horizon, searching for any unusual movement among the dry grass. Yet nature always finds a way to test even the strongest defenses. At the edge of the herd, a patient figure quietly begins to close the distance. The lioness lowers her body, blends into the grass, and advances with each carefully calculated step. When the distance reaches the critical point, the silence suddenly breaks. The lioness bursts forward, while the wildebeest scatter at speeds approaching 50 miles per hour. Amid the confusion, one individual falls behind, becoming the weak point that drives the chase toward a breathless climax. By selecting a target, controlling its escape route, and coordinating at the right moment, the lions gradually gain the advantage. Their disciplined hunting strategy turns collective strength into formidable pressure against hoofed animals. However, success is never guaranteed, as wildebeest can respond with powerful resistance. The grizzly bear charges straight through the dust, throwing its prey off balance from the very first moment. Every heavy stride sends vibrations through the ground, signaling an unstoppable display of dominance. In the wild, the grizzly bear relies on sheer size, instinct, and remarkable endurance. Could the grizzly bear truly be the most formidable solitary warrior in the wilderness? With a weight of around 800 pounds, the grizzly bear is one of North America's most powerful animals. Its massive shoulder muscles provide remarkable bursts of strength. A thick coat covering its body helps it withstand harsh cold and adapt to changing conditions. Its 4-inch claws are highly effective tools for digging and foraging. From hunting to winter hibernation, the grizzly bear adjusts its rhythm of life with remarkable flexibility. When spring returns to North America, melting snow and ice awaken the grizzly bear from its winter hibernation. Hunger drives it to begin a relentless search for energy. Across the awakening valleys, herds of elk become one of its most important seasonal targets. The elk is one of the largest members of the deer family, an iconic symbol of the North American wilderness. A mature bull carries antlers stretching more than 5 feet wide, like a crown of strength and dominance. Against a powerful animal that combines speed with size, the grizzly bear cannot rely on brute force alone. It must adapt its strategy to every opportunity. With a sense of smell about 7 times more sensitive than that of a bloodhound, the grizzly follows a scent trail to dense brush where an elk calf has just been born. At this stage, the newborn has very little ability to defend itself and can be quickly overpowered. When danger appears, the cow elk steps forward, using powerful hooves to protect its calf and keep the threat at a distance. Yet a single moment of hesitation can quickly shift the balance of the encounter. To escape, the elk charges into a fast-moving river. The grizzly, however, is an exceptional swimmer, capable of staying close through the icy current. Even as the elk uses its antlers to defend itself, the grizzly's bite force of about 1,200 pounds per square inch allows it to gain control of the situation. When the encounter comes to an end, the grizzly drags its food source onto the riverbank and buries it beneath the mud for later use. This behavior reflects the grizzly bear's remarkable intelligence, proving that in the natural world, survival always comes before compassion. Across the North American wilderness, the encounter between the grizzly bear and the moose unfolds as a dramatic test of survival. In a mist-covered valley, the moose stands like a living fortress in the cold forest. A mature bull weighs more than 1,000 pounds, with every step carrying tremendous power through dense brush and rushing water. After a harsh winter, weakened moose are often found resting in open clearings. This is when the grizzly appears, watching with the patience of an opportunistic predator. It waits until the animal is at its greatest disadvantage before making its move, conserving as much energy as possible. The situation changes completely when a mother moose is protecting her calf. Her instinct to defend her young is triggered without hesitation. She charges forward with remarkable determination, using her powerful hooves to force the threat to keep its distance. Recognizing the moose's overwhelming size and unwavering resolve, the grizzly wisely backs away. The encounter becomes a powerful reminder of balance and mutual respect in the natural world. Every animal is doing everything it can to survive in an unforgiving wilderness. The grizzly bear's life is a remarkable journey of survival and extraordinary adaptation. During summer, when rivers swell, it becomes a master of catching salmon in rushing rapids. The bear stands perfectly still, watching salmon fight their way upstream as if reading the rhythm of the current. The moment a salmon bursts from the water, its powerful forepaws seize the opportunity with astonishing precision. This rich source of protein allows the grizzly to build fat reserves, totaling dozens of pounds in preparation for winter. When winter arrives and snow blankets the landscape, the intense pace of summer gradually fades. The grizzly enters hibernation to conserve energy, although it does not remain in a deep sleep throughout the season. It settles into a sheltered den, lining it with dry leaves or branches, while its heart rate drops from about 50 beats per minute to roughly 10. One of its most remarkable adaptations is the ability to recycle waste into protein, allowing it to maintain muscle without eating, drinking, or remaining active. This continuous cycle has helped make the grizzly one of North America's dominant animals, with its greatest strength rooted not only in power, but also in the extraordinary art of adaptation. If the grizzly bear is regarded as the ruler of North America, the wolf stands as the ultimate symbol of teamwork and collective intelligence. Weighing around 130 pounds, the wolf combines remarkable endurance with exceptional discipline. When hunting, it does not rely on individual strength, but operates as a unified pack, with every member understanding its role. When food becomes scarce, a grizzly may claim a food source, and a battle of strategy begins deep in the forest. The wolf pack forms a wide arc, attempting to draw the bear away from its valuable meal. In response, the grizzly turns continuously, standing like a living fortress against every challenge. As the wolves recognize the bear's determination, they often choose to withdraw and preserve the pack's strength. In other situations, after a wolf pack secures a large food source, a grizzly follows its powerful sense of smell to the scene. The wolves surround the bear, baring their teeth in warning as they try to protect the reward earned through teamwork. Yet when facing a calm and nearly unyielding grizzly, the pack's intelligence often gives way to overwhelming strength. In most of these encounters, the grizzly claims victory in more than 80% of food disputes. In the natural world, strategy may create opportunity, but resilience often determines who remains in the end. Within the animal kingdom, the grizzly bear does far more than hunt or confront other predators. To remain one of North America's dominant animals, it must also overcome challenges from its own kind. These encounters are driven by the pressures of survival, competition for resources, and reproductive strategy. In Alaska, early summer marks the grizzly bear's mating season. During this time, adult males actively search for a very specific target: newly born cubs. Their purpose is driven not only by hunger, but also by a biological strategy that shortens the mother's period of caring for her cubs, allowing her to become ready for the next breeding season. Recognizing the threat, the mother bear establishes a defensive boundary, shielding her cubs while delivering clear warning displays. Even against a rival nearly twice her size, maternal instinct often causes the intruder to reconsider and back away. As autumn arrives, competition shifts to securing energy before hibernation. To build the fat reserves needed for winter, an experienced male attempts to take over a younger bear's fishing spot. The two giants clash in the rushing water, using powerful shoulder muscles and forceful swipes to pressure one another. In the end, the less dominant bear leaves the riverbank to conserve its strength. Across this wilderness, evolutionary pressure constantly tests every individual. That relentless challenge helps maintain nature's balance and shapes each new generation of the strongest grizzly bears. Deer are an important part of the grizzly bear's diet, providing the nutrients needed to maintain its strength. Yet reaching this valuable food source requires more than physical power. The grizzly also relies on the awareness of a master of the landscape. It understands that every hunt is a carefully calculated test of survival. When the hunt begins, the grizzly does not rush into a long, energy-draining chase. Instead, it patiently observes and gradually guides its target toward an old-growth forest filled with fallen trees. This strategy disrupts the deer's path and creates an opportunity to separate one animal from the herd. In the dense terrain, the deer's top speed of about 40 miles per hour is limited by fallen logs and natural obstacles. A single misstep is all the grizzly needs to close the distance with speed and precision. The encounter ends with the advantage belonging to the animal that understands the ground beneath it best. Every successful hunt provides vital energy while helping nature maintain the balance of the ecosystem. When everything grows quiet again, the forest returns to its timeless stillness. Amid swirling dust, the honey badger steps into a path not meant for hesitation. Its small frame conceals endurance and a capacity for sudden response. It does not rely on speed, but uses terrain and every opening that appears. Against larger opponents, agility becomes the advantage that helps maintain control. But this time, how far will that relentless instinct carry the solitary animal? The honey badger, also known as the ratel, is a mammal in the weasel family, widely recognized across Africa. It is a small carnivore, yet known for a bold, determined, and unpredictable nature. Despite its modest size, its survival instinct makes many predators keep their distance. With a flexible diet, from insects and honey to reptiles and small animals, it endures shifting environmental conditions. Thanks to strong adaptability, The honey badger is widely distributed across Africa, West Asia, and India. Across the parched grassland, the African ostrich leaves behind a rare source of energy. An egg weighing nearly 3 pounds. Its light-colored shell, about 0.08 inches thick, is strong enough to withstand intense heat and environmental pressure. The curved shape and smooth surface make it difficult for most foragers to find a point of entry. As a result, the egg is both a valuable reward and a complex survival challenge. The honey badger, however, does not approach this task through strength alone. It uses its snout and forelimbs to roll the egg across the ground. It constantly changes direction to locate hard stones, exposed roots, or uneven terrain. Each slip away from the target is not a failure, but an opportunity to adjust distance and angle. Eventually, a crack forms along the shell, revealing a rich source of protein and fat. In that moment, the honey badger shows that its persistence is not reckless. It observes, experiments, and turns the landscape into a tool of its own. Eating a wide range of foods, the honey badger still favors snake meat above all. Its familiar prey includes highly venomous species such as cobras, vipers, and mole snakes, often hidden deep within dense brush. For most animals, that terrain is a danger zone best avoided, where a single sudden strike can shift the entire balance. To hunt prey with spring-like reflexes and venom that can be projected up to about 6 feet in under 0.3 seconds, the honey badger relies on more than boldness. Its true strength lies in a remarkable resistance to venom granted by nature. This biological defense allows it to endure challenges that many other species cannot withstand. Even after taking bites carrying enough venom to overwhelm a larger animal, the honey badger's body typically enters a temporary inactive state for about 2 to 3 hours. As the effects gradually subside, it regains awareness and continues its journey. In the wild, this is not immortality, but a rare form of adaptation. Along the rivers and wetlands of Africa, crocodiles appear as ancient symbols of raw power. With a bite force estimated at 3,700 pounds per square inch and a weight nearing 1,000 pounds, an adult holds a clear advantage in the water. Yet when it leaves the river to bask on land, that heavy body reveals its limits. That gap creates an opportunity for the honey badger, a small but fearless predator. From the riverside brush, it quietly waits for a young crocodile, about 3 feet long, to drift away from deeper water. With teeth strong enough to handle tough hide, the badger moves in quickly, secures the target, and pulls it toward cover. The encounter comes to a close, bringing not only a source of food, but also a stark lesson from nature. Strength in water does not always ensure control on land. With a single shift in environment, even the smaller contender can turn the balance in its favor. On the scorching savanna, where each waterhole becomes a boundary of survival, a compact tank moves forward in silence. It is the honey badger, a small animal known for rarely backing down, even against opponents far larger than itself. Ahead stands an elephant weighing around 13,000 pounds. A single response from the giant is enough to make the ground tremble, sending dry dust swirling into the air. The honey badger is knocked aside, rolling across the ground like a toy thrown off course. Yet its low build, along with thick, loose skin, allows it to absorb impact better than many other animals. Moments later, it rises again and continues closing in on the opponent's long legs. The challenge does not end there. When facing an antelope many times its size, the honey badger once again moves into a risky distance. The antelope immediately braces, using its horns to fling the smaller animal nearly 20 feet. Even so, the determined creature quickly regains its balance. If the honey badger's boldness ranks second, it is difficult to imagine any animal claiming the first place. In the tall grasses of the savanna, where every movement can be concealed, a rock python over 12 feet long moves silently through the dry cover. It does not rely on speed to overpower its opponent. Its strength lies in patience, camouflage, and a sudden approach at very close range. The moment it detects the threat, the honey badger steps into danger with a nature that does not easily retreat. It presses forward, shifting direction to avoid being cut off. Yet a single mistimed move against an ambush predator can shift the balance. The python coils, tightens the gap, and forces the badger into a disadvantaged position. At the peak of this tense standoff, a pair of jackals appears at the edge of the grassland. Their presence divides the python's attention. In that brief instant, the honey badger pivots, breaks free from control, and regains the initiative. The ability to exploit even the smallest changes in nature allows the honey badger to prevail. A craving for rich, sweet nutrition drives the honey badger to follow traces toward a wild beehive. Its intelligence allows it to read environmental signals, including the presence of a honey-guide bird. Honey, wax, and larvae provide high energy, becoming a valuable reward during foraging. Yet that reward is always protected by a coordinated defensive system. High on branches over 20 feet above the ground, thousands of bees cluster around the hive. With foreclaws nearly 2 inches long, the honey badger grips the trunk, climbs steadily, and breaks through the outer layer to reach the honey inside. At once, the colony surges outward to defend its territory. A series of stings creates intense pressure, but dense fur and thick skin help reduce the impact. It remains persistent, continuing to feed within the chaotic swarm. In the wild, such endurance is not a form of invincibility. It is a resilient survival instinct that allows the honey badger to turn danger into an opportunity for energy. The honey badger is often considered one of the most fearless animals on the planet. That courage does not come from size, but from the way it confronts danger. On the African grasslands, where lions dominate, a creature weighing only about 35 pounds can still make larger predators hesitate. The encounter begins as a male lion, weighing around 420 pounds, moves towards the honey badger's foraging ground. Instead of disappearing into the grass, it lowers its body, releases warning sounds, and moves in short, unpredictable bursts. It does not rely on sheer strength, but on persistence, quick reflexes, and the ability to make an opponent think twice. As more lions draw closer, the honey badger raises its final line of defense. A strong scent from its anal glands, combined with feints and a refusal to yield, shifts the tension in the moment. For a brief time, the gap in power between the two seems to narrow. The standoff stretches through a tense rhythm of advance and retreat, eventually causing the lions to pause and give way. For the honey badger, this is not a victory of strength, but a victory of survival instinct. In the wild, the honey badger is not invincible, but very few species are willing to pay the price to challenge it. The journey through the skies comes to an end with the eagle's proud presence across the vast wilderness. Its adaptability and hunting instincts help it maintain a truly remarkable position in nature. With every flight, the eagle reveals the balance between strength, patience, and perfect timing. If you enjoy the world of wildlife, subscribe to the channel and join this journey with us. Like and share the video to spread more inspiring stories from the natural world.